peace must be our goal and our guide. And all that we strive for as a human family, dignity and hope, progress and prosperity, depends on peace. But peace depends on us.
It is ridiculous and it is against the laws of nature that we can have somebody sitting pretty who takes home more money than the credible entrepreneur who is doing actual production of goods and services.
We always say it as it is.
It is only in this country that when a thief is arrested, you hear elders from their tribe saying, "He is our son and he is our thief."
If you are deviant
Yes.
and I call you leader,
Yes.
probably you are already a leader, but you are leading in the wrong direction.
We want to see the role of the youth
Yeah.
in the security,
Yes.
governance,
Yes.
and development.
The youth that I meet and work with here, you know, we call them the millennials and X's and Y's, this and that. They don't necessarily want to live like their fathers and grandfathers,
Yes.
do business like their fathers and grandfathers. They're more independent, they're better educated, and they're the ones that are making everything move in this region.
We look at the issues, we talk about issues that impact people's lives in Africa.
The African peoples themselves continue to cheer bad leaders, and because they cheer them on, they continue to be misled.
Let me ask you, doctor, would you rather be somebody who does not enjoy so much freedom but you are rich?
Yes.
Or you'd rather be poor who you are actually imprisoned by the poverty itself?
My goal is not to come here and say, I want the majority ownership, I want to own this, I want to own that, I want to do this. My goal is we all make money and we're all happy, and I help build a big business here.
Punchline is for Africa, with Africa, from Africa.
Good morning, Africa. Wherever you are in the world, thank you very much for watching Punchline Africa television, an online television south of Sahara that has been championing African matters. Good morning. Good morning, viewers, wherever you are in the world, in America, in South America, in Europe, in China, in Russia, in South and in Australia. Good evening in Australia, and wherever you are, thank you very much for watching and tuning in. This is Diplomatic Leaks. Diplomatic Leaks is a subject that goes back, it's a show where we go back behind the diplomatic leak, protocols to find out what is taking place behind those corridors of diplomats. What do they talk about Zimbabwe? What do they talk about Kenya? What do they talk about Uganda? What do they talk about sanctions? What do they talk about Somalia, Central African Republic, Nigeria, which is a collapsing giant on the African continent? It is collapsing indeed. And maybe next week we shall look at one of those topics as Pan-Africans who are gathered on this show. Why are there many sanctions again? Renewal of sanctions by the United States of America. But again, it looks like things are changing for Zimbabwe. Thank you very much for this program. We are brought to the core. We want to tackle them on the show. If you have any problem, whether you are MDC, whether you are which party you belong to in Africa, we are not worried. You come on the show. So good morning, gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen in the studio. In Nairobi, we have Miriam Ogutu, our senior presenter, senior anchor of Punchline Africa in the general headquarters. We have Magaza right in Harare. We have Gugu right in South Africa, in Pretoria. We have Musa Abdi Haji, all the way from Isiolo, the capital city of Northeastern. It was one of them, the empires of the sheikhs. He will tell us more about how they lost Ogaden region. Thank you very much. In the studio in Nairobi, CBD, we have Professor Gerard Onyali, a conflict resolution expert, a man himself who preaches peace, a man who negotiates. If Chamisa wants talks, we can take Professor Onyari. But if he doesn't want to talk, Professor Onyari will still tell him in the face that he will be a negative element in Africa. And then we have Philip Chabata. We have in Harare, I don't know whether you are in Harare today. Thank you very much, Philip Chabata, our regular on this Pan-African station. We have Javani Karanja from Nanyuki, the city of plenty of potatoes. When you want potatoes is it so? When you want to eat any potatoes, you just call Javani Karanja. They will come in plenty. We have Magaza, Mr. Magaza, right from Harare. Good morning, sir.
Thank you, Doctor. I'm good, and yourself, Doctor?
I am all right. I'm pushing on. Africa needs to be liberated. Thank you very much. Alikatwaza from Harare. How are you, my brother?
I'm fine, Doctor. How are you?
Hey, Tatenda. Thank you very much. Leah from, is Leah a woman's name or a man? I don't know. Leah, are you from Harare? Or you are listening post? If you are listening post, thank you very much. We welcome all the listening posts. In the military, we have what we call listening posts, or in intelligence. Very good. Listen. Thank you very much. When you give us your name, then we shall give you a clue. But otherwise, our button in the studio will not allow you to come in when we have not heard your voice. We might be talking to a robot. Thank you very much. Saxon, my brother Zima, thank you very much. Good morning.
Good morning, Doctor. How are you?
Thank you very much. Tatenda Baba. Okay, we have Amai Abikai Mupambi, all the way from Matebele land. Yes, Lupani. Is it Lupani?
Lububi.
Lububi. You see, I have been to those places. Lupani, Lububi. Thank you very much. Welcome to the show. Then we have Mr. Munei from Harare. How are you, Mr. Munei? It is your first time to be on the show. Then across the bridge, we have our guy from London, Zavari, our analyst.
Zavari and Munei are the same, one and the same person. It's just that I was trying which device would get me more network and stronger signal.
Yeah, but there is an echo on you are using earphones. That's why. You are using earphones.
No, I'm removing the earphones and just get on.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. You'll deal with a production team in Nairobi. Please handle that technicality. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Our topic today is very clear. And before we do anything, I will make just 2 minutes. February last year, I wrote a letter to all African heads of state. And Philip is laughing because he saw that letter. I wrote a letter to all presidents of Africa, telling them that there is a tsunami coming. That was February. Because I traveled to London, and at Heathrow, not Heathrow, I traveled to Amsterdam for a case in International Court of Justice of the Kenyan Maritime Border Dispute. At the airport, I saw everybody with masks. And it was only us from Kenya Airways who did not have masks. So I asked the ladies of Kenya Airways, why they were coming out of the plane. This is February now. It was February 12th. I remember very well. I stayed there for 6 days, and I penned a letter to the African presidents in the hotel where I was staying in Crown Plaza in Amsterdam. I wrote and asked them that if this disease can defeat bigger countries, China, is there something that we are not prepared for? Ask the African heads of state to prepare, because most of the African heads of state, countries, governments did not have a ventilator. There were a few countries that had a ventilator, like South Africa. Somalia did not have a ventilator. The only ventilator that was in Somalia was stolen by the president to take to his house, thinking that it can save him. These are the facts. Out of that letter, 4 presidents answered. I won't name them here, so that I don't want to name them to shame the others. One of them, but I can name mine. One of them, President Museveni, he acknowledged my letter, saying this is a very Pan-African view. I was warning African countries to be prepared. Through the Prime Minister of Uganda, Ruakana Rugunda, Museveni said Matanga's letter was spot on. Museveni started preparing in advance from 18th February. You remember this disease struck around March. Now out there in China, so I inquired as an investigative journalist and a man who researches. I wanted to find out why these Chinese girls and South Koreans were having masks. Then they said, up to there, we wear masks because there is a corona. So I came back, I asked the Kenya Airways people, why are you coming, flying without masks? They said, it has not reached us yet. I left it to there. To cut the long story short, viewers, that letter can be brought on the screen for you. It is not changed because internet doesn't lie. It does not lie, it remains there. What I predicted on 18th of February 2020 is exactly what is happening to Africa. People were caught unaware, and I want to thank the people of Kenya, Zimbabwe, Uganda, for being very, very, Museveni took that letter seriously. Lesotho, there is a country called Lesotho in South Africa. The Prime Minister took that letter seriously, even interacted with me. He said, how did you know this? I said, no. I was on a trip and I saw this thing across the bridge there. Museveni put measures, very good measures. Despite all these difficulties he has, he did something very good for the first time. Zimbabwe took a stand. You started very early to reorganize yourself on the question of COVID. That's why you see the numbers are still low. The numbers in Kenya are still, they are there, but low. The numbers in Uganda are low, completely low. Because in Uganda, we reinforce the law with AK-47 also. If you refuse to come along, we deal with you. That is the, let's be very honest. Africa still needs a stick. They come along with you. If you don't wear the mask, the policeman will not take it lightly when you say you left it at home. And then you start running. The next time, you might not see what is going to happen. So they reinforced that law. The SOPs were reinforced. South Africa, Egypt, and other countries, as Miriam is going to read, the list of, did not took this thing for granted. And the ladies and gentlemen, you can see where we have reached. People were not prepared. Africa was not prepared. Some presidents on the continent even stole ventilators to hide a ventilator, like the president of Somalia. There was only one ventilator in Mogadishu, and the president went and ordered for it to be taken to his state house, thinking that it can save his life. So you can see, I want to thank the government of Republic of Kenya for having been very candid on how they have been sampling the disease and controlled the disease up to today. And it has brought fruits. But now, Miriam, we have a new threat, a new wave. We have the vaccines. They have arrived. But still, Africa again has a problem. That's why I brought this debate. And I want everybody to pour out his heart or her heart on this show. There are some people who are lying to others. Don't take it. Some say, don't do, it will do this, it will double. For me, I'm now over 60. So even if I take it and it brings more complications, God will save us up there. As long as it doesn't put me near Changarai, I will be very happy. And honestly, so that is the only thing. But now people are saying, there are people, Miriam, we have had complaints, we have rumors, people are again persuading people not to take this. Oh, this is this, some African country. I had some people in Uganda were talking about this vaccine. This vaccine, is there a conspiracy theory? Is there a conspiracy theory? Is there a need for Africa, therefore, to unite and say, let's have our people vaccinated? Or is there a way Africa can speak with one voice? Are people sensitized enough? Have the NGOs done their job to be able to bring about the sensitization process that is needed in order to give the drug? Those are my questions and my remarks. I call upon Miriam across in Nairobi. Thank you very much, Miriam. Give us the list of, and if you hear your name of the country, I think you shut the eyes, but there you are. We have the numbers. Thank you. Back to you, Miriam, in the general headquarters in the Nairobi.
Right. Thank you, Dr. Matanga, for that introduction. Today, the figures in Kenya stands at 110,356 confirmed cases. The people who have died in the country from COVID-19 is 1,898. Recovery so far is at 87,903. Uganda confirmed cases 40,520. The death toll is 334. Recoveries is 15,095. Zimbabwe, the figures there at 36,341. The death toll, I think it's about 1,489. Recoveries is 33,953. And South Africa, 1,524,174. 51,015 of those have died, and 1,445,979 have recovered. And I'll just jump and look at the total cases in Africa. This morning. Right now, the figures in Africa stands at 3,040,700. The number of people who have died in the continent is 102,925. Recovery so far is 2,707,613, and I'm sure we prepared this just a while ago, so I'm sure a number of countries have since updated their latest figures there in line with COVID-19.
Yes, thank you very much, Miriam. Now, the ball is in your court to choose, beginning maybe with ladies or whoever was first here. That is the topic, surrender it, the politics of vaccines in Africa.
All right.
There are countries, they have a problem. Me, I will speak later.
All right. So many Africans have expressed skepticism about whether the governments will be transparent enough in administering the COVID-19 mass vaccination campaigns, or corrupt officials could benefit from the exercise. Others think vaccines are aimed at controlling the population and could affect fertility. And many believe there are hidden agendas behind it. So before we even start, perhaps I would like to know from where you are, how the vaccines have been received there by the people. As we know, Zimbabwe right now has, for our panelists from Zimbabwe, has authorized the emergency use of Russia's Sputnik V and China's Sinovac vaccines against the coronavirus. And so far, it has received donations of about 200,000 doses from Sinopharm, that is a Chinese firm there, and also from Indians, Covaxin, there in Zimbabwe. So how has the vaccine been received there in Zimbabwe? I'll start with you, Mr. Maganza.
Mr. Maganza is not there. There is Gugu, and there is Chabata, and Gugu is in South Africa, isn't it?
Yes, she can tell us. Gugu will start
Yeah,
with you.
South Africa.
Mm-hmm. So how has the vaccine been received in South Africa?
Very good morning to all the panelists. Good morning to the viewers also. In South Africa, we're still vaccinating the frontline workers, which is actually going very well and smoothly administered. However, the concerns for everyone, for the migrant community actually, is that in South Africa, we have got a lot of migrants. Are they going to be vaccinated? That is the concern on the ground, of which the government of South Africa said, yes, the migrants are going to be vaccinated. However, I am concerned as an individual. I'm concerned about the undocumented migrants, because in South Africa, they are undocumented migrants. Mm-hmm. And my view is that they also need to be vaccinated. This is not a time to be looking at who is documented and who is not documented. I'm feeling that they should also be included in the vaccine, rollout. Coming to the issue of should Africans be vaccinated? Should we accept the vaccines or not? That's $1 million question. Mm-hmm. The first question that comes on my mind is, where are the African scientists? Why am I being made to take a vaccine that has been developed by somebody that I don't know, who doesn't have my interest at heart, who is actually strangling me with sanctions? Already that person doesn't wish anything good for me, doesn't wish to see a flourishing Gugu. Now I'm being forced indirectly or directly to take the vaccine. That's another part. Another part to look at is, we've been taking Panado, we've been taking, coffee mixtures. All these medications, they are made by them. Why are we? One can actually raise a question and say, why are we then now turning down their vaccines? Why now? When we have been all along taking their, medications. We've been vaccinated since we're young. I got the BCG. I got the, many polio vaccine. I got it as a child. Now, for me to say I don't want their vaccine, they are going to kill me. Why didn't they kill me then? Again, this is a very good topic for debate. Personally, I've got my reservations taking that vaccine. I wish our scientists can come up, from the African Union, and we've got scientists in Africa also. Scientists should come up and, manufacture our own vaccine that I will have 100% confidence in. Because right now I'm just going to feel obliged as a public person to take that vaccine, whereas it is not in me. So I'm feeling like I will have 100% confidence in the vaccine if it's created and manufactured by my own people that I can trust with all my heart. Because right now what is happening in the world, I cannot trust, the Western countries. I'm sorry for that, forgive me. I'm not being naive, but this is how I feel. Thank you so much. That's nice of me.
Thank you so much, Gugun Kuba there in South Africa. And actually, one of our viewers here, Clement Nkamanyi, thank you so much for writing to us. You're saying a continent of 54 countries that cannot manufacture a single vaccine. We saw the president of Madagascar, I think Andry Rajoelina, at the beginning of this COVID last year, celebrating that the country had found a remedy in the local hubs there. That didn't work too well. Actually, I think right now they have tougher measures there because the numbers went very high. So, all right, that's as far as a remedy from Africa is concerned. Saxon Svina, how has the vaccine
My view, I think the issue of vaccine is exposing the global fight between the East and the West. Africa is caught in between, as we have to choose which side should we go for. In as far as we're concerned, Africa should also come up with its own vaccine. We have to take the vaccine. There are no two ways about it. I concur with what Dr. Gugu was saying. We've been taking vaccines since we were born, and I think we should continue taking vaccines. But we need also to move away from the dependence syndrome of relying on donations from other people. Both the East and West, they've got their own interests and they're pushing their business agenda. Africa has got a population of over 1 billion. To them, that's a niche market which has to be exploited. But what are African scholars doing? We've got graduates who have not done anything, not that they're not capable, but it's not within them. We need to nurture to promote resistant development thoroughly. I thank you.
Okay. Thank you so much. I like that you're pushing for a solution from the continent, and I think it will be a good thing. And I'll just go back to President Andry Rajoelina. Of course, when he came out and he floated the herbal remedy there as a solution for COVID-19, the first doubters came from this continent, who really dismissed even the iota of an idea that a remedy for COVID-19 would come from Africa. Our own leaders here dismissed that idea. Of course, our World Health Organization, I don't know if they tested to test its efficacy, but it was found not to be appropriate. So, yeah, we have a problem with that. Mr. Maganza, how has the vaccine been received there where you are?
Oh, thank you very much. I had a problem with my internet connection, so it had been cut off.
Okay.
And so I was trying to reconnect.
All right.
Right. There's been, so far in Zimbabwe, there isn't much resistance. Of course, we've got some pockets of churches here and there who are trying to use, I don't know whichever verses they have got from the Bible. They are telling, frightening their followers that it is not worth taking the vaccine, but government is coming hard and telling people that no. Remember, COVID-19 is real, and so it is your health which is paramount. And so when it comes to the word of God, let it be the word of God, but when it comes to health, make sure that you've got to observe and do what is important for you. And so there is a positive uptake of the vaccine, though it is slow, because they started with the health sector, journalists, members in the information fraternity, and the other sectors, economy, military, and others. But yes, the uptake is slow, but at least the attitude is positive.
Okay, very well. There's some good news there. Xavier Zavari. Xavier, if not, then Munei.
Yeah, I'm on. Just unmuting myself.
All right, go ahead, Munei. How has the vaccine?
Well, I mean, yes. I mean, I'm currently in Zimbabwe, so I have witnessed. I have witnessed what Comrade Mugaza has just said, where the battle is, the religious people or religious leaders and their followers, and what they teach and instruct their followers. And of course, what the government is trying to promote, which is vaccination, and also the opposition, which is sort of lingering between what the government is trying to do and the religious leaders. But the problem with the opposition, from my observation, is that they are proponents of everything Western. In this instance, they would have preferred for the government to have AstraZeneca and Pfizer and BioNTech as vaccine than having an arrangement with the Chinese, the Indians, and the Russians. Of course, Zimbabwe is still part of the COVAX, which is a Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation brainchild. A lot of people think it's a United Nations one. No, it was actually sold to the United Nations by Melinda and Bill Gates. Of course, that doesn't help in terms of skepticism from those who are skeptical of what Melinda and Bill and their allies are up to. So there is that challenge in Zimbabwe. Of course, I'm aware that in Europe, in Britain, where I'm temporarily based, the vaccine again is received with sort of mixed views from the Afro or Black people. They've got a bit of skepticism of what's going on, and of course you have some people really singing praises for the vaccine currently, saying things are looking better, cases are coming down, and so forth. The politician in me, or the skeptic in me, I always want to scratch a little bit further and see what exactly is going on. So I see a management of numbers somewhere there happening, but that's a separate issue. Straight to your point, I think there is a mixed reception of the vaccine within Zimbabwe and even within the United Kingdom. I submit for now.
Thank you. Philip Chibata, why do you think there has been a skepticism, not just in Zimbabwe, even here in Kenya? We've seen a few people saying, no, we're not sure, let a few first try it, and then we'll decide whether we want to have the vaccine or not. Matter of fact, doctors from the Catholic Church here in Kenya came out to say, we don't even need this vaccine. Doctors from the Catholic Church here in the country, and we had that debate yesterday. So Philip Chibata, why do you think this skepticism is there in Africa?
Well, it is, thank you, Miriam. The problem that we find this skepticism in Africa is because of historical past. What we have heard and what we now know about some of these vaccines, what has happened before, because of, remember, these vaccines were first introduced in China due to, was it smallpox? Mm-hmm. And then we started having these vaccines was a reaction to treat a known disease. And for example, right now, nobody really knows what COVID is. And if you're going to be treating something, you need to know what it is that you're treating. That's one of the skepticism that comes with
COVID. Chibata, COVID is SARS. It's one of the SARS, Mr. Chibata. Yeah.
Okay. So,
I need Miriam encourage some people to come in to check Mr. Chibata, because COVID is one of the SARS. The scientists have told you it is one of those diseases that is going to come anytime. It's level 1, level 2, level 3, level 4. Maybe we have level 10. We don't know, but it is there scientifically.
Yeah. Yes, it's there scientifically, but what is it, doctor? The question is, what is it? Because you have to treat what you know. Because in order for you to create a vaccine, you must know which disease and how it emanated, where it emanated from, in order to treat it properly. Mm-hmm. But COVID, so far, we do not have that. And two, for you to create a medicinal solution, it must go for tests, and it must go for scientific tests and all this, which has not really been finalized, especially with these immunizations. And this immunization, for example, that for smallpox, and I heard my sister say, Google said she was given BCG. It's a once-off thing, but this COVID thing looks like it's an every year money-making scheme. And very soon, those who were billionaires and they've been overtaken, they are going to overtake again and become the biggest billionaires. So the skepticism comes in the sense that, one, there's not much scientific work that has been done, and two, nobody can really tell us where it came from and what it is. You see, they are all maybes that are flying around, but already we have medicines, we have solutions. And when some people are, when they are given it, they die. And some people, when they are given it, can't say they live because we don't know who is going to live as yet. So there are those things that are, for us in Africa, especially knowing what the Europeans and the most wise did to us before with these so-called vaccines coming to kill and destroy, we are skeptical because we know what has happened. For the history of vaccines makes us very skeptical. However, in Zimbabwe so far, it has been taken very well. I'll admit, people are going to be vaccinated.
Mm-hmm.
But hey, who is not dying? Everyone will one day have to die. I submit.
You sound as if you've just given up. Now, coronavirus, now that you say you don't know what this is, according to World Health Organization, coronavirus, or COV, are a large family of viruses transmitted between animals and people that cause illnesses ranging from the common cold to more severe diseases such as the Middle East Respiratory Syndrome and severe acute respiratory syndrome, that is SARS-CoV. So there you go. And the last we checked, it started from Wuhan. So they need to tell us how that happened. Yes.
Miriam, I hope you will give us time to counteract Mr. Chavata's statements.
Mm-hmm. Professor, go ahead. Professor Jared Onyari. Mm-hmm.
Miriam, thank you for this opportunity and thank you for this good topic we are discussing. COVID has been with us now for 1 year, Miriam. And the question which we need to do, Miriam, is know the why and the who, which Philip Chabata is trying to do. We are in the pandemic, Miriam. How do we escape? How do we move forward? That should be the question, Miriam. And the question Dr. Masanga put forward as we discuss this topic: Do Africa need this COVAX vaccine? Do we take it or not? And remember what we were trying to discuss, Miriam, in the morning. I have said it before in other forums and I'm repeating. The easiest disease the virus that you can be dealt with is coronavirus. What do you need to do, Miriam? Keep social distance. Wash regularly. Don't be in a crowded places, Miriam. Wear masks. For 1 year, Miriam, we know how to behave. And in fact, even the vaccine, Miriam, which has been made and which has even come to our country and other countries, Miriam, it has gone for the front workers in the ministry, those who are more vulnerable, the doctors, the teachers, the security agents. So it means the greater population, Miriam, much needs to be done. I have already built my case. I said that, so you say that who brought it, what is it going to help you, Miriam? Saying that what is the word, no, the world is at war, Miriam. And I've said in other forums that God decided to close the world like a small village. So this not now, Miriam, to say that what needs to be done. That should be the question. Miriam, the house is burning, and we are in the house. Do you start asking how did this fire came? Mm-hmm. The first thing you do is on how to escape.
Yeah, and if you can put out.
Once you have escaped, Miriam, you start putting off the fire.
Yes.
This is where we are. Do we take it or we don't take it? Nobody has forced you to take it. But what I want to say that, Miriam, we have got the medical researchers. How do you just trust researchers in other medicine, in other medicine, other vaccines which have come, and you refuse to trust them on this? So from where I am, Miriam, when you are a sick man, and you want to be helped, you are sinking in an ocean. Whatever you get, you hold on. So what we need to do, Miriam, and the word, and so that for purposes of moving forward, if like Kenya now, for example, Miriam, the people who have been given the opportunity to have this vaccine are the COVAX, are the medical people. They are the medical researchers, Miriam. Miriam, you want to tell me that they can be able to take something which can destroy them? So what we need to do, Miriam, I hope the scientific people can be able to advise us. And we are proper advice. So what we need to do, Miriam, from where I sit, I urge people to take the vaccine. In fact, Africa, thank God. And I want to say that thank God that God has spared the people of Africa. In other countries like United Kingdom, where David is, Dr. Masanga is, he can tell you what has happened there. Like United States of America, Miriam, you know, almost tens and thousands of people die every day. So this is the pandemic. And if this is going to take us forward, Miriam, let us take it. And I hope we should take it positively because we have been advised.
All right.
In any event, we don't know what will happen. But I have given the recommendations, Miriam. Let us keep social distance. Let us wear masks. Let us keep distance, Miriam. And let us wash regularly.
All right.
With time, Miriam, we will know on how to navigate. From where I sit, I submit, let the people take the vaccine.
Thank you so much. Maybe Philip Chapata is having some doubts because, you know, the Zimbabwe has been brought a vaccine from Russia. Russia was not very open even in the process of producing that vaccine. China, they've not even been open about the whole situation there with coronavirus, and India. So maybe that's why Mr. Chapata is having his doubts. But these vaccines have been tested and approved, I'm sure, by World Health Organization. I want to believe. Musa Abdi, the politics of vaccine as we see it now play out here in Africa, why do you think people are a bit skeptical when it comes to these vaccines? As we've seen there, Mr. Chapata. Musa. All right, I'll go to Javan.
Javan.
Thank you very much, Miriam, and for the presenters who have made their contribution before me. I agree to some extent with what they have said, but let me say this. One, the reason why Africans are skeptical when it comes to this vaccine is the kind of information that has been disseminated out here. People think that when you get this vaccine, there are a lot of misconception, conspiracy, that maybe you develop other illnesses, you don't get well. And some people think that if you get vaccinated, the vaccine will protect you from other viral diseases like HIV. Therefore, people have created a lot of stories around this vaccine. And I think that is why they are reluctant to take the vaccine, because some reports in the media, in social media rather, you could see people saying that in Italy, people are dying after taking the vaccine. Therefore, maybe those are some of the reasons why Africans feel like this is not the right thing for them. And number two, this vaccine has not developed in Africa. You know, Africans mostly trust things that come from Africa. But Miriam, on that, we have been taking products.
Do we really trust anything from our continent? Do we really?
But rather, Miriam, we have been taking vaccines and drugs from abroad, and I don't know why now we feel like this vaccine is not the right thing. But we have been taking foodstuffs. We have been importing goods from abroad in our countries, chemicals and so on. Therefore, I feel like this vaccine is good because at the end of the day, we as Africans, we are protecting ourselves. And because we don't have our own made vaccine, let us use what is available now to protect ourselves. But the most important thing, Miriam, to do is to observe the government, the Ministry of Health, the protocols that are already in place, because those are the best way. Because prevention is better than cure. If we can be able to protect ourselves from the virus, I think that will be more important and crucial as we fight this monster. Number two, Miriam, we have seen the people who recover from this disease is almost 80%. Therefore, the rate of recovery is also quite good. Therefore, the best option, I feel, if we are not going for the vaccine as Africans, then the best option is to prevent ourselves from the virus. I think that will work more effectively. But all said and done, let us combine the curative, preventive measures so that we can be at a better position of fighting this disease and eradicating it from our continent. Thank you.
I like your last part, but when you look at the Kenyan situation here, it sounds good when you say it, but we've seen what is happening here. People don't care about social distancing. People don't care about wearing masks. People don't even wash their hands anymore. So it's nice to say it. It will be the best way of keeping us off from contracting the virus. But human behavior has been a contributing factor to the increase in the cases of coronavirus. And so that is near impossible. It's doable, but it's not very effective, as we have seen. So the vaccine, it's actually very necessary.
It is all in our mind, Miriam. If we can change
it's not in our mind, it's in our behavior. Our mind knows the right thing to do, but we just choose to do different.
And the leadership should ensure that people adhere and that they implement fully these measures so that people can adhere.
I think I feel like coming in here. You see, we have a very bad mindset. Why are we beating about the bush? Miriam, people here have bad manners. Let's not talk about all this. Miriam, I agree with you. Today, they have bad manners. A man goes to a toilet, comes out of the toilet, wants to shake your hand. That's bad manners. Wash your hands. We have a problem in Africa. And then we are here talking about Africa. Why are you not hitting the name?
It's not only in Africa, doctor. It's not only in Africa, everywhere.
No. Mzungu, you are taught, if you live in England, you are taught how to use forks. There is a lesson for using forks on a table.
Yes.
For us Africans, we are taught how to wash our hands. I grew up in a village some 60 years ago. I grew up in a village where we smoke our latrines every Wednesday. The latrines are smoked every morning because my father and others had pit latrines before we got promotion to a water, the first water tank in the 60s. So we were disciplined. You cannot come to the table from the toilet. Look at our children today, Miriam. Let's be honest. The children today, if you don't tell them wash your hands, they don't wash. And we are here pretending on this show the vaccine is coming to save us, maybe to save some people who remain there. People don't wash. If you tell them don't go understand a distance, they say no, this thing is not there. Yes, this thing is not there. They say this thing is not there until it strikes you. So here, sitting on this level, on this platform, where other people are listening to us, wasikie, let them hear. This thing does exist. Yes. Africans, we are very bad mindset, very awkward, backward. We think differently. Look, why I'm saying we have bad, including myself. How many of us have even made one needle? One needle. Don't we buy toothpicks? We buy toothpicks from China, and the trees are grown from Congo. Every day in Kenya, we see trucks passing through with timber to go under. Tabata is showing you the toothpick. That toothpick is not from Zimbabwe. It's made in China. We have scientists here who claim titles. You go in a university, you find Dean of Faculty of Science. But if you ask him whether he can even make one tablet, there's zero. We have a problem here. We have a problem here. So,
may I get it, Miriam?
Miriam, that is my intervention to Karanja's question.
All right.
Yes.
Okay. Before I see Google, you want to come in, and also Mr. Maganza, but I'd like for Abigail to say something first, and then you will come in, Mr. Maganza, then Google. Abigail, go ahead.
Thank you so very much. I think colleagues who spoke before me, they've nailed it clearly. And I think at this point, we must accept that we are exposed as Africa. We are first, in my own other view, defending this issue about the vaccine on the notion that we used to take. I don't think it's enough. The first issue here is to accept that we have failed and we are exposed. At the moment going forward, can we find each other as Africa? Where are our researchers? Where are our scientists? We need to find each other and on the basis of saying, let's accept that coronavirus is there and is there with us. Can we do something from the African perspective? I was just checking this morning about the issue around President Magufuli. Said to be nowhere to be found, probably somewhere there in Kenya, and it's now speculation everywhere. But I remember very well he took a stance that there's nothing like corona. He took a religious position. Other countries, they also took their own positions. We found we are found wanting at this point as Africans. I remember the issue around Madagascar. They came up with something, but did we support Madagascar at that point in time? So we are left probably with no option. Our scientists, our researchers, our learned people, professors, we are now all reduced to commentators. We are all now reduced to propagandists, and our business is now to only critique that is what is coming from China, what is coming from Europe. We are at their mercy at the moment. So I really feel that as Africa, we have been exposed at this point, and we have to accept that. And like what Dr. Masanga is talking about this issue of social distancing, want to wash hands, want to do. How many of us are social distancing in real practice? Or it becomes rhetoric. Our politicians are gathering at funerals. Are people actually really respecting such? Here in Zimbabwe, we have seen some celebrity funerals. People just gathering for the sake of it, and of course not observing. And we have seen it happening across Africa. So are we really into it to say that we will make use of our behavior change approach? Okay. How practical is that at the moment? So coming on to the issue of the vaccine in Zimbabwe, there is a lot of controversy around that. But I've observed the frontline workers. And I mean frontline workers, not myself yet. Frontline workers, they are taking the vaccine, and of course at a low pace. So there is a lot of theories and the propaganda around this, and I'm happy the topic is in the house, the politics of vaccines. This is where we are right now. It's all politics. It's all controversy. This is where we are right now.
All right. Thank you so much. You brought in President Pombe Magufuli, kind of my favorite person to talk about right now. He took a religious position. I tend to feel he took a very, the science of stupid position, because he is a scientist. So he should have known better. We don't know whether the government has not confirmed whether he's here or not. It's just speculation, but let's just leave that there. Before, I know I said Mr. Maganza, you'll come in, but Alcatraz hasn't said something. So I'd like for him to say something first. Yeah, science of stupid. And then I'll come back to you. Alcatraz, go ahead.
Okay, thank you, Miriam. And I agree with a lot of my colleagues who have dealt with this topic before me. I think the main issue here is trust. At the global level, people have received various and constructive information on COVID vaccines. All pharmaceuticals producing vaccines have been produced a 100% effective vaccine. Almost all vaccines are at some stage of trial and still being improved. Coming to Africa, the trust issue is even more serious. Can African leaders be trusted with throwing their own bodies in harm's way before anyone else? It's no. So if they are leading by example, by taking the vaccine first and let the the citizens take after them. That's why it will work like what happened here in Zimbabwe. We see the Minister of Health, which is the Vice President, taking the vaccine. But what makes people skeptical is because of some of our influencer, little boys like the pastors. On social media, yet some of our influential pastors saying people should resist the vaccine. Why? Those characters should be told that the vaccines are developed scientifically and they are tested scientifically. It's not spiritual. We should separate the two. Those renegades should be told. More so, we have our divergent views in Africa. I know others subscribe to the West, others subscribe to the East. In Zimbabwe, our vaccine come from the East. So those who subscribe to the West will also demean and give false information pertaining that vaccine to the people, which is very bad. We should all be in a collective position with the government to fight this lethal disease. COVID is real, it's killing, definitely. I submit.
Very well, thank you so much. Maganza, you had something you wanted to respond to before we go to Google.
Definitely, I've got a few points which I want to put across. Though I want to start with the controversial one. If we remember the late Nelson Mandela during the HIV sketch when it started, he stated that the reason why HIV is killing many people is because Africans are poor. It's because of poverty. That is why HIV has affected many Africans. That was his statement, and it was very controversial. And then we get to this issue of COVID-19. Why we find out that in Africa we might be failing to follow the WHO protocol, social distancing, washing hands, and everything of the sort. The issue of poverty is also affecting us. There is no food at home. There is no employment. And so people have got to hustle here and there in order to put the food on the table. By doing so, meaning to say that they will be in contact with many people, and which is very easy for diseases to spread around. One will not have the time to go and wash his or her hands because one will be busy trying to hustle. One will be selling maize cobs, selling whatever it might be. It's at the bus rank or wherever it might be. He doesn't have, after serving a customer, to rush to the way there's a tap and wash his hands and come back and serve another customer. And everything of the sort. Poverty also plays this part. And it is a big challenge which we have in Africa, whereas poverty affects the way we might deal with certain scourges, especially COVID, when it comes here. And then the other controversy, which I find out also relating to skepticism, is that let's take, for example, what happened in South Africa recently. Maybe somebody might have said when I was been cut off by internet. South Africa received 2 million doses from India. And then they said that they only discovered when the consignment had arrived that it was expiring in April. Instead of South Africa returning the consignment back to India, it said that it was going to donate it to the African Union. And then if it was to donate to the African Union, who is going to receive that drug which is just about to expire? A donation is supposed to be given to other deserving countries. But which deserving country is going to be given drugs which are about to expire? Meaning to say, the issue of trust, is one of the former speakers they say that it's one of the challenges which we are facing. But still, we go back. We have got to fight the disease. We have got to follow the WHO protocols. Whoever produces the vaccine, it is only when we produce our own vaccine that is when we can say, and we are 100% certain that 100% it will be 100%, its efficacy rate will be 100%, and then we can say we are proudly African. As long as we do not have what is ours, we'll have to dance to the tune of those who produce. And so let's prevent ourselves, follow the WHO protocols, and that is what we have to do. And that is what we have to do at the moment. We might politic in any way, but that politicking doesn't help. Whether the disease came from wherever, it doesn't matter. We have the disease with us, and we have to prevent it. That is my submission.
Okay, thank you so much. And Bino, the vaccines, all of them are quite time and temperature sensitive. So April, they're almost expired. I don't know. But Google, you had something to say.
I want to touch on the issue of trust, Miriam. You can actually not, we can't blame Africans for not trusting any any vaccine that is coming from the Western countries. We all know our history. We all know where we're coming from. And to be honest, it will be unfair to blame any social groups in Africa for not trusting those vaccines. Right now, we are all fighting about sanctions. We're fighting about, a number of oppressions against our people, all coming from the Western countries. And right now, you tell me I should trust them with their vaccines. I understand as an academic that I need to take the vaccine. However, I will take the vaccine with reservations, with question marks attached to it. It's a good thing. Yes, we've been taking the vaccines. We will go ahead and take the vaccines. Again, coming to the issue of the vaccines. These are the vaccines that have only been developed for less than a year or a year. Now they are so much trusted to be administered throughout the world, which to me doesn't make much sense. I know we are racing against, the people's lives and, taking the vaccines. But these vaccines haven't been so much researched on. I look at HIV. Since I was born, HIV has been there and cancer has been there. There are no vaccines to against those diseases. Now you take me to take a vaccine that has only been here for 1 year. Some of them are not really scientifically having the 100% confidence from the scientists themselves. So I'm talking from a social person's point of view to say, look at these questions, look at these loopholes. You cannot blame that social person for resisting this. That person has been living with HIV for the past 30 years. And today you want to convince them to take a vaccine that has been there for less than a year. We need to also look at that and try and give our people some courage and some confidence, actually. And again, my last point will be on the issue of washing hands. My problem with African leaders is that whenever they are bringing up these regulations, they bring the regulations from the standpoint of an average person in our communities as Africa. Look, I've been to the deepest rurals. For example, in South Africa, I talk of Alexander Township. I talk of Guguletu in Cape Town. I talk of Mbare in Zimbabwe. Those are the places that are overcrowded. Those are the places that sometimes do not have water and electricity. Now you're going to come to those people. You're telling them that they must wash their hands regularly. We need to sober up as African leaders. We need to be very considerate. I'm feeling that the African leaders are very selfish. These regulations are made from a point of view of an average citizen in the country. Those people in Guguletu, those people in Alexander Township cannot even afford a roll-on, cannot even afford a slice of bread for breakfast. Then you tell them that they must wash their hands with soap. Some of them even go for days just washing with water and no soap at all, not even lotion or Vaseline. Then you tell them, Chabata, please wake up. Then you tell them that they must wash their hands regularly. Honestly, I feel that we are a bit very unfair to those people in such communities.
So vaccine will be the solution then, because then if you lack water to wash your hands, you'll still be safe.
The solution still goes to our African leaders. African leaders need to do their job. People shouldn't just sit in the offices and warm seats in the offices. People need to know that they are there to serve the interest of the people. And the people are not the average and the high-profile people. A good leader goes down to the ground, serves the interest of the lowest of the citizens in the country. Now you're giving out those regulations, but you haven't made sure that people have got water. How do you expect them to comply to those regulations? People want to comply, but they don't have means for complying. I think it goes back to our African leaders. Okay. We need to sober up.
All right. The politics of vaccines in Africa. Professor Nyari wants to leave. I think he has a class, so I'd like for him to make his final comments before I go to Mr. Chabata. Go ahead, Professor.
The question, and my fellow panelists, the world is watching. Africa is watching, and they want to hear what we are saying. Remember the question before us, do Africa need a vaccine? Yes or no? My answer is yes. Do we take it or not? My answer, we could have even taken it as early as yesterday. And my fellow panelists, time for organizing and lamentation is all gone. We are in a pandemic. What, imagine Miriam, as we are informed, Miriam, and with all due respect with Kube, we are telling you the best way you can do is to wash your hands, and you are telling me people cannot afford water. The respective governments should be able to provide that water, so that we can be able to take this one. If what as simple as what is what people need, the respective governments should be able to sink pores and provide water, Miriam. Miriam, I need to ask ourselves, has African Union taken a position on COVID-19? If anyone, that you help me. So I'm telling the African respective leaders, Miriam, those who are in charge, take a position. Take a position. What I need to do, Miriam, we keep on saying, oh, we don't have money.
Professor, by position, what do you mean? What do you mean exactly? Please expound just a little.
They have not pronounced themselves on what needs to be done on COVID-19. Even on the vaccine, Miriam, they have not, even the one which is coming into Africa, Miriam, do you know we have been given free? You know, it has been donated to us.
We can't
you know the kind of looting and corruption going on the continent of Africa. And we are in the midst of a pandemic. Do you know even in Kenya how much money people have stolen on COVID, Miriam? African, we need to change our manners.
Okay. Professor, Miriam, can I come in here?
Finally.
Oh, you are still there.
It seems that Miriam people don't have information. So more of the information should be done in creating awareness. We break it down so that the people understand, so that we demystify the myths going around COVID-19 and the vaccine, Miriam. So that we remove the ignorance among our people, Miriam. You can agree with me or disagree with me that the wearing of masks, Miriam, the medical doctors are telling us and have advised us that the respiratory diseases have gone down. COVID-19 is going to be with us for some times. And those who have chosen the alternative ways of even using the religious sect, remember, Miriam, everything which is here on earth belongs to God. The medical researchers who have come with this one, they belong to God. So you cannot choose what to trust, which God gives you, and leave others. Let us team up. Let us leave no one behind. Let us pray for us. And now I pray that Abigail said, look at Madagascar. They tried to come up with the medicine. Did we support them? Did we support them? And I know, as I do in most African countries, Miriam, we have got medicine for this. So, Miriam, the only way forward, let us continue having a conversation. Let us continue creating awareness. Otherwise, COVID-19, and you see the way it is manifesting itself, it is manifesting itself in a terrible way. I submit, and I wish you very well.
Okay.
Professor, before you leave, Miriam, give me an opportunity to answer Professor on a critical issue before he departs after making an uncoordinated troop movement in the intellectual circles. So, Prof, I agree with you fully. You have forgotten one small thing. We have very bad leaders. Why are you not condemning this? I was waiting for that point, Prof. Bad leadership. A leader south here, south of Kenya, where you are, said the thing is not there. Why are you see the problem, Abigail, and the rest of you don't talk. And then the thing comes to kill you. Then you say Magufuli told us that the thing was not there. Why don't you name leaders? Me, what will he do to me? Me, I passed the age of being threatened. What? Magufuli told people there was no aid. It was like a Zuma in South Africa where Google is. Zuma said there was no aid. That once you have some interaction with a lady, you wash your hands and go home. Mbeki came out to say this is a theory. And truth now is this. Let's face it. And can I bring the bombshell? Do you know why South Africa has the biggest number? Should I bring the bombshell, Professor, before you go?
Go ahead, sir.
Yes? Because
Yes,
all
go
of
ahead.
them are on ARVs. Yes. Because they did not cure AIDS. Why are you not talking the truth? You are going to water. Google is telling us water. Even if water is there, what will water save you? When a leader has, a whole national leader has stood on national television and has told you there is no AIDS. Tell me what will water do for you? What will water do? Miriam, water can't help you. A leader south here, south of Kenya, where you are, Miriam, south, about Tanzania. The man said it is not there. This is not there. Now, Tanzanians, most of them are dying. We can't keep quiet. Should we keep quiet? Tanzanians are our brothers. It's very shameful to hear that the hospital is full of people. It's very shameful to fly to Britain and then they discriminate. You came from Tanzania, go that way. It's very shameful for us to be blacklisted. Countries to be blacklisted because we have become stupid ourselves. The leaders in Africa, Zimbabwe has very few medical facilities, but their medical facilities were the best in Africa. Guess what? Did the leadership of Zimbabwe refuse? Did the leadership of Zimbabwe say, no, there is no COVID? They accepted. They treated their people slowly. The numbers have not gone up. But how can a man who has got a PhD in chemistry, calling himself a scientist, killing people like you remember the Majimaji rebellion? That when you pour water on yourself, the bullet will not go through. It is happening in Tanzania. It is happening in Tanzania. So, the neighboring countries like Uganda, my country, Kenya, we have to put pressure because soon, because of the influx of patients arriving in our countries will be blacklisted also to travel worldwide. We have to be careful. This is the politics of vaccines. That's why I chose this topic. We brought this topic, the politics of vaccines. Very soon, if you don't have a passport, like a yellow fever, you might not step in a plane. You could be stuck wherever you are. Did you know that? That is coming. And they have singled up countries. They have singled out Tanzania, Democratic Republic of Congo. When you come from Congo, you never step in Europe. No. Tanzania, no. It's a neighbor here. But where are the people in Tanzania actually getting medicine? They have to come across to Uganda in Mutukula in order to be treated. So the problem here, Miriam, which I'm putting forward is, as we condemn these medicines that came from abroad, let's also condemn some of the African leaders who have misled their people. That's my point I was reaching, which Chibata could not support me earlier. You know, if Nyerere woke up from the grave, Miriam, and saw this man called Magufuli. If Nyerere woke up, the Nyerere I know, the Nyerere I saw in 1978, if he woke up in Musasani and saw this guy here, I think he would multiply his ghosts to capture him. The man has messed everything upside down. Tanzania is becoming a laughing stock. A country that brought us liberation of Africa is gone. The center cannot hold anymore. Are we here to keep quiet?
No.
Kenya has managed its COVID regulations. Uganda has managed its COVID regulations. Even Somalia, that is under war. They are treating their people. But here we are. We have an intellectual who went to a university paid by the school fees of Tanzanians in chemistry, telling people that there is no COVID-19. So, if you tell your nationals that there is no COVID, how will the normal person, especially Tanzanians are very submissive. They submit. If you go to the villages in Tanzania, they say, asante sana mzee, ndugu, mwalimu, mwalimu, mwalimu. They are like we Ugandans, we kneel before the king. And the king passes, you haven't even seen his face. That's our tradition. That's why we are protected. We are protected. You Zimbabweans were colonized because you are very riotous. You know, for us, we are very humble people. Zimbabwe became riotous. Cecil Rhodes said, I will take you over. Kenya became riotous. The colonial man said, take them over. As in Uganda, we are protected. We have manners. We kneel down. Even the king passes when you have not seen the king. That's the tragedy of it, Miriam. Leaders, bad leadership in Africa is also causing a problem. The last point I want to make, I will not make any more contribution, is Madagascar. The first country in Africa to condemn Madagascar. Do you know the country? South Africa. You remember South Africa was the first country to condemn and trash any efforts by Madagascar to cure COVID-19. They even went, all televisions in South Africa were condemning this DJ president who plays DJ. This DJ man, this Kasmoro man here from the island. He was condemned. I think he almost committed suicide. The president of Madagascar, South African president himself condemned the president of, and he was the chairperson of AU. He put pressure on this younger small boy DJ who plays disco, you know, to remove his medicine. But no scientist ever tried to take this medicine of Madagascar further to find out whether it has a cure. We have a problem here. Ourselves, we have no trust. Miriam, you go to a restaurant, you are seated, you have come with your family or Gugu or Abigail or Chebata. You have come with somebody to take food. Have you seen our black waiters and servers? Do we have trust in ourselves? Gugu is a doctor in child welfare. You go and write books which can, and go to Africa, to Zimbabwe to preach. They will say we need a brown, unlikely enough, Gugu is brown. They can accept her being a Mzungu. But they like Wazungu. They like Wazungu more than Matanga. They like to take the theory of Karl Marx, Adam Smith, but not Matanga as a theory. Professor Onyari, you're a professor of conflict resolution. Just go back and stand up and say, I am a professor. They will say, is there another one? We have that thing in Africa. Is there another one? On the 18th of February, I wrote a letter. Was my English wrong? No. My English is even very good Shakespeare. Very good English. On the 4 presidents in Africa answered.
The rest?
The rest is thought I'm a noisemaker. Now, let it happen. I warned them of international intelligence system. I depicted an international intelligence cable. That was very clear that there was something wrong in Wuhan. It is there. I don't know why the production team in Nairobi is not putting that letter forward. Put it, let people see. 18th February, there was no case of corona in Africa. I said, be prepared from international intelligence networks. We have a problem here. Now, because I don't have gray hair, people did not listen to me. Kebata laughs at me. Another one, Google, will laugh at me. Abigail will laugh at me and said, but is he really grown up? You know, because I have no gray hair. You know, this is the problem we have here. When people see me with no hair, they think I have not read. And I have, they think I'm a playboy. No, I wrote that letter, and today I'm standing on my 2 feet to tell you that, no, there you are. I wrote the letter. Have you seen how you have panicked? Have you seen how your economy has gone down? Is the economy there? Have you seen? Have you seen how you steal ventilators? From a president of Somalia stole a ventilator. Very much. Have you seen, Miriam? Our problem is we don't trust ourselves. I agree and I submit with Mr. Munei, who said trust, or Mr. Alcatraz says trust among us is lacking. Even our own waitress don't like us. They come back for second time. In fact, the Mzungu they are serving, they serve a Mzungu who does not give. They serve a Mzungu who takes his money.
Nilikuwa nakwambia Nina acha report kazi.
All right, we apologize for that.
How do I get it? What time do you come?
That is my position, Miriam. Will not get here.
Those are the comments which.
But after that, a Mzungu will live with all his money from the saucer. Then this waitress will run it to you. Daktari, can I have something for transport tonight? When he did not serve you, they served the Mzungu first. We don't trust ourselves. So the best thing now to do, let's solve this medicine. I am appealing to you Africans. Abigail, you are here, swallow it. Swallow it and try. After all, it is God. Swallow it. Kunywa. Zimbabwe, you Kebata, if you have not drunk it, drink it quickly.
All right.
Drink it. Magaza, drink it. Abigail, drink it. Google, drink it. Don't, all of you, drink, because it could save you. For me, I'm in the 60s, I'm going. I've eaten several granaries. Some of you who are young on this panel have not eaten granaries like mine. But if you don't know, we are enemies of ourselves. Look at the whole President Magufuli, Miriam. When I look at him, I feel like I wish I was in TPDF again. The statements he makes about COVID-19 are shaming, are very shaming. And the people dying there, I was on a phone at 4 a.m. today in Dar es Salaam. The hospital was full. All hospitals, people are collapsing. There you are. I submit, and thank you very much. Abigail is raising the hand, and maybe she's across the bridge there.
All right. And on the issue of South Africa, I think the most contributing factors there, the patients with HIV and AIDS who are consistent with their ARVs actually are not at a higher risk of getting COVID if they're consistent. If they're consistent, according to the doctors there, the people who have since died, the people who had pre-existing conditions like hypertension, diabetes, and obesity, those are the 3 leading causes of deaths there from COVID patients in South Africa. So HIV is not one of them, unless the patients with HIV has also those pre-existing conditions outside of HIV and AIDS. So that is according to the doctors there. All right, go ahead. I think it was Chebata who wanted to talk, and then Abigail, you can come in.
Abigail.
Thank you, Miriam. I really wanted to say something which Doctor has just raised again. The politics of vaccines. I think if we were to zero on the politics of vaccines, we might get something out of our discussion. Why? Because, let me say, Doc, you are saying we should drink this, take this vaccine. Yes, our people are being encouraged to take it. Personally, I will not, for my personal reasons. I will tell you why. I'll tell you why, Doc. I'll tell you why right now. It's because I know that markets are created, and I see people creating markets for to make billions of monies with something that is not proven. That's my contention right there.
But it has been proven. It's been going through, the process a whole year. That's why it took so long for it to come out. It has been proven for it to work.
Miriam,
yes.
WHO just condemned the one that we're using in Zimbabwe.
Which one? The one from Russia? The Russians, like I said, the Russians were not very open with their whole process, but a majority of some of these have been proven.
No, the one that they condemned is the one that is made, the one that we're using from China.
Okay.
They just condemned it, and that's WHO. And you ask yourself why, and again it goes to the politics of vaccine. How much money is someone going to do? And again, our topic is saying, you were saying, why is it that Africans do not want to take these vaccines? Miriam, you will recall that a few days ago, the former Prime Minister of Great Britain came in the open and started giving some apologies for a war that took almost millions of people in Iraq, and war that took thousands of people who died, and so much destruction. And he comes and says, I'm sorry. And we are watching as Africans. Miriam, there is IV11. We have confessions of HIV vaccines. There was an HIV vaccine that was administered in Africa, especially in the southern part of Africa, in SADC. An HIV vaccine was administered, and that vaccine was not to cure, but to spread HIV. We have V11s. The confessions are there. I can post them on the group and all of you to see. And you ask us, why are we scared? Why are we skeptical of these unproven vaccines? Mm-hmm. It is because of the history that is behind us. Mm-hmm. I have V11s, Miriam. Mm-hmm. And for that reason, I say, I continue to put this argument that if I am ever going to take a vaccine, I will take what the enemies are taking. I will go for the Pfizer and I will go for the Johnson & Johnson, because what they are drinking, I hope, is safe, because they can't be drinking poison.
Okay. I
don't think that...
Abigail is there, Miriam.
Mr. Chebata has not finished talking. Can you allow him to? Okay. Abigail, go ahead.
Okay. Thank you so very much, Miriam. As we are talking about this topic, I'm going back. Tell me something. Where is President John Magufuli?
Why are you asking me, Abigail? I don't know. He's been missing in action, I'm told.
Miriam. The topic is, we are talking about politics.
Yeah, you are.
As things stand right now, we must introspect deeper and say, what is happening to the defenseless and the misled brothers and sisters in Tanzania right now? Yes, speculation, which I believe is true, the president might be right now in one of your good hospitals in Kenya. And what is happening to that poor woman who was misled? Are we doing something about it? Remember, we are saying we are in the midst of a pandemic. Here we are worried, but we have been putting measures. We have mechanisms, though not to satisfactory levels. What is the current status right now across the rivers there in Tanzania? Also, coming in, I'm really worried about that. Tell me something. While we are debating around these vaccines, is there something happening behind the scenes in our laboratories in Africa? Either is there something happening somewhere that we can say, maybe let's delay? Mr. Chabato, you're saying you're not going to take the vaccine. I have my own reservations right now, but just for hope and confidence, is there something happening in our own laboratories right now? Maybe half cooked, maybe something has started to probably to take place.
Nothing.
Is there something happening elsewhere in Africa?
Nothing. So maybe wait because South Africa, I think, and India were fighting for the formula. They wanted the countries that have discovered this to share so that there's a mass production. I don't know how successful they were with that. So I don't think that is there. Mr. Magadza.
Right. It's quite interesting. It's up to the hitting point now. We obviously a country will have patterns when it comes to the vaccines. It won't give the whatever the ingredients willy-nilly. Obviously, the country has to pay heavily for it to get the vaccine concoction. Right. But my submission is that yes, there might be a lot of politics about it. The efficacy, that is where the main problem is of the vaccines. Yes, it is at this inception stage, but we still have to prevent ourselves from infection as well as so that we won't get further infection and it won't spread to, beyond reproach. So I encourage each and every one of us here as panelists and to those who represent and to all those who are listening in the world over that COVID-19 is real. There might be politics about the vaccine, but the truth, let's first of all take what is available. It is up to the user to choose which one. There are those who have good monies, and we understand in Zimbabwe is allowed private users to import, private practitioners to import vaccines as long as they will be given out for free. It's okay. So which means the Pfizer's, those who are approved by the Zimbabwean government, can be brought in, and any other vaccines, they can be brought in, and then people can be vaccinated to the people. So let's try our best and make sure and encourage each other. The issue of misinformation is the one which is killing us.
Okay.
Let us not inform. Let's encourage people. And then as time goes by, we keep on telling the world or the African leaders that please let's do something when it comes to disease control. We need to have a research team, either a research team, an African research team, or an AU medical research team, or a regional research team, so that at least we'll be able to research well in advance of those diseases where they are coming. We can have all those conspiracy theories that you see, there's a disease which has been brought forth, which is going to affect many people, and then we are going to want to eliminate Africans and whatever. Yes, that is the politics of vaccine. But the truth is that the disease is here. Let's make sure that we get inoculated and prevent ourselves from there, and then we'll do our politics later.
Okay, so we leave the politics out of the vaccine. All right, thank you so much. I hear you, Mr. Maganza. Alcatraz.
Okay, first I wanted to talk about the issue of Magufuli of Tanzania. He's becoming a genocide to his people now. I say that we need to separate spiritual aspect from this issue. That's why I was saying in Zimbabwe with each prophet who want to mix up the spiritual aspect with scientific things. Okay, the issue of trust, the politics of vaccines. Like what Mr. Jabata said, he is also applying politics as well. We know where is who. The Health Organization is from the West. There's politics as well in denigrating those Eastern vaccines. It's politics as well. So all vaccines are still under trials. There is no one which passed the litmus test to be called the proper vaccine for vaccine. Let's take what we have so far. Like in Zimbabwe, that one which comes, let's take it so that we will be safe.
Okay.
Those are precautionary measures allowed for us to be safe should be abide religious. I submit.
Thank you so much. Munei. Munei, are you there?
He's not there. Can
All
I
right.
come in now?
You've not left. Okay. And I'd like to go to, because we're making our last
Miriam,
submissions. Yeah, go ahead.
Miriam, the rights of Magufuli are many. We want to condemn President Magufuli, and Chibata is here having the same thinking like Magufuli.
So we condemn Magufuli and Mr. Chibata.
What
That's
a
what you're saying.
punchline in Africa. What punchline in Africa? Listen to me, I'm going to be kind to you. What punchline in Africa is about, Miriam, is to give people hope and trust. That's why we are here. And for heaven's sake, even with some reasons, if you are not going to take it, Chibata, you don't just come in punchline Africa, people listening, and you tell us we are not going to take it. Let me just have this to say, I use Kenya as a case study. Do you know in this point in time, Miriam, that we don't have ICU beds? They are full. They are full.
Chabata is another Magufuli again, I can say.
So that's why I want
Chabata, Professor, let me help you about this man, Chabata. This Chabata man is always jokeful. He jokes.
No, he was not joking. I think Mr. Chibata was very serious about this matter. He really meant what he said. And it's okay. I think he's entitled to his...
We are on the same... Abigail, Dr. Masanga...
Thank you, Miriam. Thank you, Miriam.
So what? I'm making a point. This is a serious business we are discussing.
You know why Chabata
we are appealing to African leadership to read from the front. Even if it means they are the first people to take the vaccine, they do it. Because let me tell you, Chibata, how many people will take you serious that you have said you are not going to take it? They will say, even Chibata said he will not take it. And you are saying you know very well, and Dr. Masanga has cautioned you. You are going to be just be in your small village. You are not going to move anywhere in the world.
Yes.
It is going to be required like small box certificate. So what we need to do, Miriam, to give people hope is to provide the necessary information which is not available so that we are on the same page. People are not aware. That's one of the things which we have to do.
All right.
People have not been told we take it.
All right, we
know that our people are suspicious of our leaders.
More research is needed.
Okay.
We know that.
All right.
We know that our people...
Miriam, don't waste much time on Mr. Chibata. Mr. Chibata has already taken his dose. And for people who don't know him, people who don't know Mr. Chibata, I know him for over 22 years.
All right. Thank you. So can we move to Mkube? Can we move to, because time is running out. Mkube, go ahead. Make your final submissions. Google.
I'll be very brief, Miriam. Mm-hmm. I think as a panel, there is something that we are missing here. This is a very important issue that requires to be very objective when we are looking at this issue. Mm-hmm. Personally, I will take the vaccine. As I have said, there are issues that need to be looked at. As much as I'm going to be taking the vaccine as a professional, I am not ruling out what Tabata is saying. Now, from what Prof. Onyari is saying, I'm getting the impression that people are taking this vaccine so that they can be allowed to travel all over the world. Africans should stop just following blindly whatever the Western countries are doing. If you look at that vaccine, all the ingredients of that vaccine, they are actually natural plants that you find here in Africa. So
thank you.
We go back to what Tabata is saying. Where we have got all those kumbani and all those trees in that vaccine. So what is it that has failed our African scientists to put those trees together to come up with a vaccine? I can tell you this. There is a group of young scientists in Zimbabwe that is currently putting together all those trees, trying to see if they can come up with a vaccine there. I can't discuss at this present moment. However, people need to take the vaccine for the right reasons. Going to European countries is not the solution. We don't need Europe. Europe needs us more than we need them. Let's take these vaccines for the correct reasons, not because I want to go to England. For what? England needs me.
Professor was just giving an example And I think in the coming days, people will be required, the same way you're required to have a yellow fever certificate, you'll be required to have a COVID-19 vaccine certificate if you want to travel.
It is me who raised the matter, who said soon people will not be allowed to travel. Some countries have been red-carded in Europe. I said it. It is not that we want to take a vaccine and travel. No, but it is now going to be the same African countries are going to stop you, Google, and this chapter who is always on the flight to fly, to get out of Joburg to go to Monrovia. You want to go. Now you are here trying to pretend. Let's not pretend. One of the things I don't do in my life is pretense. I don't care. This thing, we handled it badly. This thing, we are ourselves, our minds are gone. A whole president tells people not to drink medicine. So it is Maji Maji rebellion. The ghosts of Maji Maji rebellion have returned to haunt Tanzania.
All right.
Hey,
Jevan,
revolution. So for me, Miriam, mine is this. Whether you hate it or you like me, I'm not going to bother. I'm going to say, if you are poor, you don't have a choice. If you are poor, you don't have a choice. So that where we are now as Africans, we are poor. Our people are poor. Our governments have eaten our money corruptly. Our money has been eaten. Yes. Our corruption is so high. We have nothing to buy the medicine. Abigail, we have nothing in our pockets. Our budgets are empty. We are now vulnerable. And I submit to encourage people, one, wash your hands, keep a distance, sanitize your hands, don't travel to crowds where not necessary, and above all, if the chance comes to take the medicine, take it.
All right.
After all, there are so many ways of going to kingdom of God. Did God tell you, has God told any of you how you are going? So any of you, put up your hand and tell me you are going this way. Have God told you? Has God told Google that you are going to go to heaven this way? No. Abigail, have you been told? Now, who of you has been told to go? That you will go this way or that way? We don't know. So take this thing. Take it. Drink it. Let them inject. Let's encourage people. Kibata, you a public figure in Zimbabwe. If you go on talking like it is on national television, people will not take the jabs. Am I wrong, Abigail? Yeah. How many people crowd at your door every morning in Borodale for handouts? Very many. I know where your house is. Don't tell me that I don't know where you live. Yeah? People are there waiting for something to eat from your pocket. So they follow you. On your farm, people follow you. The farmers will not take this medicine. Let's help the government for this injection, vaccine to work. Then we wait. Then as we, who are international lobbyists like me, I will take the case with Mr. Tedros. I am going to sue Mr. Tedros. You haven't seen me yet. You have not seen this Dr. Matanga yet. There are so many things that Mr. Tedros did while in China. And don't forget what I told you, Onyari. I swear as long as I live alive, I will land that case in the international court for crime against humanity. The man knew when he left China in December, he knew there was COVID-19. He never told us Africans to get ready. I have a case there. If you have studied international law, challenge me. Let's go find it. Let's go. Bring it on. There is a case there. What did he know that we did not know? In December, there was COVID. What did Dr. Tedros know that we did not know? Why didn't he tell us to prepare ourselves to wash our hands? Let the court make a judgment. I will go down to the grave when that judgment has been made. I'm not going to give it up. But for the vaccine, take it.
Thank you, Dr. Masanga.
Abigail, take it to survive. This one is a liberation hero. Let him go if he wants. This is Chabata. You don't want to take the medicine. It's bad news. That thing is very bad. Magaza is take this thing. If it is available there, take it. So you live longer to see my winning of that case. That is my submission. Vaccine politics. Have you seen how it has left some of us with faces very angry? The topic that I brought is very interesting. Some people are not happy. But thank you very much. For me, I'm happy. I support that Africans. We are poor. We have no choice.
Parents have no choice but to take what they say.
Yes, if you have a president banking money in billions in Switzerland, then you now blame the Muzungu who has brought you free medicine. Ushenzi, what do you call it in Shona? To be stupid in Shona is called what? How do you call it in Shona? To be stupid. Hey, Kupusa. You are Kupusa too much. How do you bank money there? Then you go and ask for people to give you handouts. Yet that money, if you put it in Kenya, if you put it in Tanzania, it will develop the medicine. War. That's Africa for you. Thank you. I submit, Miriam. My mouth is zipped now.
Jevan Karanja.
No, there.
Karanja left.
Miriam.
Abigail. Who is there? Is it Munei?
It's Saxon.
Oh, Saxon. Yeah, Saxon. Sorry, I forgot about you.
Saxon has not spoken.
Yeah, the issue of our vaccines is playing out to show us the global fight between the East and the West. The rise of China is actually like the West. That's why if you follow all the media houses from the West, they're condemning the Chinese vaccine. But according to figures, over 150 million doses have been administered globally. And we haven't had any side effects whatsoever. So we need to be mindful of the global politics at play. The East-West war is emanating, and the West is diplomacy. Mm-hmm. So we need to be careful. People
all right, we seem to be having
vaccination has been ongoing since we need to continue to be vaccinated. Our people, public figures need to stand up to encourage the vaccination, not to demystify the conspiracy theories. The conspiracy theories have been there, and that's why we lost a lot of people due to HIV and AIDS, due to these silly conspiracy theories. I'm coming from a science background. I know vaccines are the way to go. Take it. If you don't take it, you're risking your life. We've got lives to protect. I encourage everyone to take a vaccine. I will take it when my 10 comes.
Thank you, Saxon. I didn't know you were a scientist. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you, Saxon.
Abigail. Abigail.
Thank you so very much. Mm-hmm. I was just reading, Miss. Thank you so very much, Kenny. Thank you so much. In conclusion, I'm enjoying. I was reading Mr. Chabata saying I would take the vaccine. I don't know which one, but anyway, you take the vaccine.
He's waiting for Pfizer or Moderna.
I think this is a. Hello, can you hear me, Miriam?
Yeah, Mr. Chabata, I'm sure is waiting for Pfizer or Moderna, or maybe he's already gotten it. I don't know. But go ahead.
Yeah. Can I proceed?
Yes, go ahead.
Yes. Basically, I think yes. We need to continue to build confidence in our people, because at grassroots level, they may not understand all this international politics, the politics of vaccine. It confuses the people. I think as a leadership, we need to take a clear stance and be able to, of course, build the confidence on the ground. I was asking a question to say, is there something happening in our laboratories? And I am concluding there is nothing. So that being the case, we need to take what is there, what is available, should the opportunity, of course, come. And I'm happy in Zimbabwe, we have seen our frontline workers, they have been taking they've been taking the vaccines. And I know the more they take, the more the confidence building process will be taking place among the people. Thank you so very much.
All right, thank you so much. I don't know if Mr. Munei is there or he left the conversation.
Mr. The one who is there is Leia.
They said they had a problem with their voice. They could not speak. And somebody here, I think I responded to that question of HIV and AIDS and COVID-19, and they're saying there's no, according to the doctor. So I'll just read for you what the research says. People living with HIV and AIDS and on effective antiretroviral treatment, ART, do not appear to be at greater risk of getting COVID-19. That is what the scientists there are saying. So thank you so much for watching.
No, but the point here, Miriam, the point is that in those who are on antivirus and antiviral whatever, if you are on it actively, yes.
Yeah.
But in South Africa, madam, the presidents told people not to even to have it. I swear in the name of God, Google, where are you? It is there. Zuma told the people that there is no HIV. People did not go for testing. Am I wrong, Chabata?
No, you are not. That's correct.
People did not go for testing, Miriam. About 10, 12 years ago.
I was just responding to what one of our viewers here has said, and I think it came from what you said there earlier. Yes, that is true. What you're saying is true, but the deaths that are being experienced in South Africa right now, the largest percentage is not from HIV patients, according to the doctors.
No, but they don't know. If you are being treated, yes. But if you are not treated, the disease is in the blood. How it will kill you? It is like a diabetes. It is like
so the HIV people who are dying are the ones who also have diabetes, hypertension, and other existing and tuberculosis. But if you're HIV, you only have HIV and AIDS, you're not at a very high risk. You'll just contract it like anybody else. Yeah, that is
but
that is what science says.
Listen, Miriam. The doctors in the hospital have to isolate. When you reach with COVID, they have to isolate all those diseases, put them aside. Because if they don't isolate, they can't treat.
Right.
They have to isolate and then treat. If there are 5 of these tubes to be put here, they will put tube 1, tube 2, 3. So they have to isolate. But Mama, I'm telling you, South Africa and Egypt, where they don't listen, Egypt is number 2. Because the Egyptians said you just wash your hands, your face, and pray to Allah. The thing came. The numbers are high not because there is no water, there is water. But most of the people did not go for tests of HIV status. And they were not on ARVs. And that is what is happening there.
All right.
And I am sorry. These governments in Africa, the only governments that have worked so hard, I want to take this opportunity to thank Zimbabwe. The Zimbabwean government, they have tried their level best. You don't have medicines. Your hospitals are in, doctors are not on strike at times, but you have done very well. Kenya has done very well. Uganda has done very well. Okay? Those are countries that have done so well, extremely very well. In the region, Rwanda, they have done very well. Rwanda, they don't leave you to go. Those are countries. Let's thank them. But the rest of some countries, they have relaxed their conditions, and then let's appeal to them. This program is to appeal, Miriam. It's not only to lambast. Let's appeal to the government to help people, and the NGOs that take money every day from the helpless whites in the Western metros to come and educate us how to wash hands. Begin educating us now. I have seen NGO in Zimbabwe calling itself one hand washing NGO. When did you start teaching Africans how to wash hands? You see? So come up and teach us now. Don't only come. Do you notice that all NGOs come during elections? Contested elections. You see all of them in the court. But you know, after the election is over, NGOs eat the money and they don't teach us what to do. I have a professor, a sister professor, and Miriam, I want to tell you, is called Professor Florence Wanyenze. Is the professor of distance. I did not know there is a subject of distance in this science. He's in Makerere University, a cousin sister. She's on Museveni's panel that actually analyzes distance. She's the one who is part of the experts for distance. How far can this thing affect you? I didn't know that there was something like that. So as some of the things, we bring them on ourselves. You and I, we have been on Magufuli for a long time. We even gave up. This is like South Sudan. We gave up both two countries. So I'm left in no corner but to support that. Let's take the little dose. Ikuje upesi, let it come quickly. Let it Chabatan be there. Come quickly and put here. Yeah, anybody above 60, like me, President Uhuru Kenyatta, I'm told in Kenya, has told people, anybody from 58 onwards, take it quickly and stay at home. So please, Chabata, if you are laughing, I know you are below 58, or you are approaching there, so you are lucky. But for us who want
I'm already 60, my brother.
Yes, let's take it. Miriam, let's encourage people. I want to thank you, and I want to thank the entire panel. Thank you very much for attending. We see next week what we can do. It will be notified to you. Back to you, Miriam, in the studio.
All right. Thank you, all of you, for your time today, and thank you for your contribution. And our viewers, thank you so much for watching. This has been Diplomatic Leaks. I'll see you later. Bye-bye for now.
Thank you. Thank you.
Peace must be our goal and our guide. And all that we strive for as a human family, dignity and hope, progress and prosperity, depends on peace. But peace depends on us.